Hello everyone, my name is Zia Taylor, and this is my presentation. I'm sure you've all been to the doctors when you were little for your annual checkups and your ever-dreaded tetanus shots. When you were children, you are required to be vaccinated for diseases such as polio, to protect yourselves from diseases such as polio, measles, mumps, and rubella, which is MMR, and tetanus. And it's shots like these that are the topic of discussion today. I will be arguing that vaccinations, such as the ones that you got when you were children, should be required for all people. Vaccinations in medicine have been around for as long as we have had the knowledge that we could cure and treat illnesses and diseases. The first vaccine invented, although China was really the main people who began using like herbs and stuff like that to cure diseases. The first actual vaccine idea was invented by Edward Jenner. He is credited as the founder of vaccinations. He created the idea that if you have, well, it's for smallpox. It's basically he took cowpox, which is like a lessened version of smallpox, and said that if you give this to yourself, then you are immune against smallpox. And obviously the idea came from him, but scientists and medical experts perfected the idea. Smallpox is a disease that begins with flu-like symptoms. You get aches all over your body, cold sweats, stuff like that. And it turns into pustules like these that start out as little bumps and become full-blown disgustingness. And it is ideas like these that, or diseases like these, that are why we wanted to cure and have vaccinations. The vaccine originated, like I said, from cowpox. And smallpox was eventually cured. It was eradicated, which means that it no longer exists in our world. And that is because of the vaccine requirement that was given to us, that we had to, like we were required to have a vaccine. And that is how we eradicated smallpox. Although smallpox isn't the only disease that was, or is the only disease that was completely eradicated from the world, diseases such as polio, which is a leg crippling disease, which you have that effects from, diphtheria, which is a lymph node swelling disease, which causes hard breathing issues, tetanus, which is a muscle cramping disease, and whooping cough, which is a respiratory crippling disease, have been greatly reduced due to the requirement of vaccinations against these diseases. Altogether, the annual death toll saved by vaccinations against these diseases is 7 million people annually. And I feel that smallpox being eradicated from the world alone should be a good enough topic to say that we should require these vaccines. However, the great reduction in diseases like these happening from millions of people to just a small number each year is also a good argument against why they should not be optional but required. Okay. Obviously, an important factor when dealing with mass vaccinations is cost. It would cost a lot of money to give everyone vaccinations, especially if people being on Medicare and Medicaid and not being able to afford to get these medications or give them to their children. However, the mass goal whenever giving these mass vaccinations would be to completely eradicate all these diseases, which would not only lower the cost in not having to cure the diseases with the medicine and hospitality rates it costs to keep someone in the hospital for the other however long period of time that you'll be in there, but it would also take away the need for the money that would go into the vaccination to get it eradicated, because it will be gone. Okay. Another reason that mass vaccination should be required is because of the growing unity in our world. I'm not sure if any of you are aware, however, China and the US have been dealing with the idea that separation might not be the best idea when it comes to economical and just in general as a world, we should be more unified. And the soft power in China is the idea that China has to basically kind of get the whole entire world to become one. So we're going to be traveling to other places, learning cultures of other places. We're going to be coming in, having people come to the U.S. to learn our cultures. And with this idea of, with this goal of becoming a unified world, we're also going to be exposed to more diseases, more illnesses, and more, problems and sicknesses that other countries, like third world countries, or even China, which is where malaria came from, is going to have. And due to the fact that we're going to be exposed to these, I feel that the only logical thing to do would be to protect ourselves from these diseases and, not have the issue of a mass death toll like malaria created in our history. And malaria came from China, and that is okay, so in summary, I believe that we need mass vaccinations because we need to protect ourselves from mass population hits, such as diseases like polio and tetanus cause. We also need to prevent and ultimately eliminate diseases that do create illnesses in our country and countries around the world. We're traveling more and people are coming into our country more, and the only logical thing to do would be to protect and prevent ourselves from more population hits, I suppose you would take.